welcome to the May activation for us and the 5-5 portal. I'm sure a lot of you are already surfing these energies. And for us that know how to surf, it's a heck of a ride. Beautiful. We can feel the assistance. For those of you that are learning to surf, you might be getting dumped and tumbled around a little bit, but hopefully you're enjoying just getting out there and giving it a good try, right? Because that's what surfing's about. You're going to learn. It takes a while to get the hang of this. We talked about, as soon as we got online, a lot of people talking about sinuses, allergies. The other thing I've been noticing on a lot of the calls with people is things in your joints, shoulders, someone else tennis elbow, someone knees, hips, back, etc. And I did a lot of reflecting into, right, with these clients on the ship, talking through what's with the energy stuck in the joints. It's like there's a theme, and when the themes come up, I love to explore them because, like if it happens enough and a lot of people are open and aware of it and they're mentioning it, then there must be something there for us. And what the team's been showing me is that often the resistance to moving into the new can get stored in our spine, right? Like it's the most dense part of us, really, when you break us down, that the bone, the most dense, and the spine has certainly been a theme, well, for myself, but for others that I've been working with as well. And we're going to be looking at how often when you're excited about embracing the new, and remember the energy of last month, the rebirth. Remember, Roxy's talking about, oh, I think I've had a rebirth. I worked out what the heck was wrong with me. I'm moving into something new. But as we move into the new, there can be resistance because the old patterns or programs that have been with us for, I don't know if there's anyone in here in the 30s, but 30, 40, 50 years, right? We do tend to have a demographic here on these calls, but for those of us, those old patterns have served us for a lot of years. So while there's the spiritual inspiration to want to move into the new, what this can actually be is a real thing about trust. And I shared with you last time about how I've been doing a lot personally in and around the solar plexus, learning to trust. Because as we move from, let's call it the old programs of the ego, and Roxy and I like to talk about the ego being our amigo because it's a part of us. It's not bad, but the ego served its function, which is keep us out of trouble, keep us getting hurt, keep us being vulnerable. And as we know, our grey matter mind, the brain, draws on past experience and tries to guide us. So even when we're looking to change into the new, particularly to do something which seems crazy like trust what? I just trust the process. You're moving into this new version. And we always talk about as you move into the new version, you leave the old behind and you walk across no man's land before on the other side is this new version of you that you're all excited about, but you haven't moved into yet. And sometimes in that wasteland, we talk about how you look over your shoulder and you think, maybe I'd just be better going back there and sticking to the devil I know, right? Or just go back to my own ways. Sometimes knowing all this stuff, I don't know. I attract everything in my life. Well, a lot of crap's been happening lately. I don't know. I think it was easier when I was asleep. And those old patterns can play out. And towards the end of last month, moving into the start of this month, there's been this realization within us that as that energy starts to move through us, right? So we're clearing energy out of our root chakra, we're balancing out that sacral, we're learning to often calm down our solar plexus, right? Because we're all control freaks and we like to get out there and be goers and do things and plan things and prepare. And yes, I trust spirit and spirit's got my back, but just in case, I'm going to have a backup plan just in case things don't go as well as I read in the books and listen to on the videos. And so we've got this backup plan. So we're inspired to want to move into the new and be more in flow and more in trust. But that resistance we've noticed has been showing up in people's physical body and right? The allergies, in particular in the joints. If I don't know if anyone's, Daryl's mentioned the joint issue. Yeah, someone else a joint as well. There you go. Backs out. Oh, that's good. I haven't been reading the comments before, but yeah, there's themes that move through these different months. So we're going to be using the energy of May, which is a very transformative month. So this is a great month for those of you, let's say, doing the surfing and you're getting to your feet and you're going along all right and you're surfing and you're not a pro, but you're doing your best. And for those of you that have been rolled by a couple of waves, but you're still motivated to get back up there and keep doing the work, okay? The energy of May is going to be beautiful for this. And that is for a lot of us on this call that I use the term we're on the leading edge, right? We're part of that very small percentile. It's not just awake, it's not just a light worker, it's the light warrior where you quite happily shine the light on your darkness. You got to the point where you don't lie to yourself anymore. It's like if you're feeling a certain way, if you're getting triggered in a particular way, you grab it. You go, what's that there? Why is that person irritating me? Why is this project not moving to the next level? What's the pause here on this? What could be the resistance? I don't know what it is about that phone call or that email I just read, but I'm just ticked off after that, right? And immediately you're almost looking for those divine triggers to see if you can see things about yourself that you can learn. Because remember, it's all about you. And so often a lot of people go, it's not all about you. Not everything's all about you. And I'm here to go, yeah, it is actually all about you. And once we realize it's all about us and it's serving us, then we can embrace that and move with it. And often in this energy, particularly last month, moving into this month, get the knowings quicker and start to implement and make the changes. So many people have been mentioning to me, particularly in Australia, there's been long weekends, there's been a couple of things in the United States. People have been catching up with family and everything's been going smoothly. And all of a sudden, all the old family members don't trigger them like they used to. One particular client, she lost her voice. She said, I couldn't believe it. I was completely healthy. I got there. I couldn't speak. I literally had lost my voice. So for those couple of days, I was so stressed about reconnecting, with family members about what they might say or, what topics they were going to go on with. She said, I lost my voice, got to be the observer. And she just realized how much the old wasn't triggering her anymore. She was responding to it differently. So there's the first key. The way to know you've changed is not always that your outside world's changed, but your response to the outside world changes. And it's like the jerks don't irritate you like they used to. Those people who make those little sly comments, that covert hostility, the little jabs people do, and they just know where to get you and they make some little comment and it's like water off a duck's back and you can just smile at it and go, oh yeah, I see what they're doing. They're playing all that one. Like that's how you know you've changed, right? And particularly it's a great feeling when you know you're responding differently and you go, look at me go. I'm not responding at all to these people. So this is for a lot of us on this call, right? That the leading edge, the inquiry, the knowing. For those of you who might be newer on the call, or you've been enjoying surfing along in this spiritual journey, but you've just copped a big set wave on the head and you're a little bit rattled and you're crawling back onto your board to paddle back out the back and you've been in the trenches. Roxy's going to talk about how for some of us, we haven't been surfing along so well, or things have been rather tumultuous, let's call it. So therefore, these triggers get magnified, amplified.
Yeah.
Over to you, Dom.
Thank you very much, darling.
And here's me thinking I didn't know what I was going to say.
Spirit always brings it through. So I guess we're all noticing, ascension symptoms, and for us in particular, and what we're seeing themes like Pete was saying is sinus issues and deep like cellular clearing through this passageway. And you're probably taking all your vitamins, getting lots of sleep, because if you're like us, we've been sleeping again because the sun just keeps popping and all these storms keep coming to our galactic space, which is helping us amplify our frequency in order to clear density. And that's coming out of here, which is connected to the third eye and the subconscious mind out the back. So if you're finding that you're even your voice, and you can hear it in my voice today, this month of May is going to be about speaking truth, and where you mightn't have spoken your truth before is now an opportunity where your trumpet or your like little music instrument is being refined and retuned. And that's why the sinus area and everything's getting those upgrades. Another thing that I've noticed personally is a lot of past life integration, but it doesn't hang around for too long. It's a couple of days and it's moving. And like Pete said, you've got to feel into your body. If you're about to go somewhere, and I'll give you an example, and you're feeling funny, and it's like you've got to ask, okay, why do I feel funny? Why is my energy getting a bit nervous before I'm about to go to, for me, the hairdresser? Yes, 2 days ago. And like these people that we're now connecting with are triggers in society of people that we've had past lifetimes with. So it's important to be aware and conscious of who we're connecting to and what the message is, because everything's speeding up and we're interconnecting with people that we're meant to integrate past lifetimes with or to trigger. So we've had the family trigger. That was the beginning of the awakening. The next stage is kind of like the past life integrations. Okay. And so for me, I had a past life. Last week I got this flash of this lady in the depths of my sleep state, and I heard, you've got to save her. And I worked out that it was me from a past life. I had a vision of this lady, and I was like, oh, that's really weird. And then the next day I did a meditation, and out of the depths, I just saw myself being burnt as a witch. And it was like a flashback. And I was like, holy moly. And I started crying and purging because it was moving up through my heart. And so through this rebirth phase, I've been funny about going out and about because now I know the cycle is complete, because the energy of me going out to the public with the gifts and the new frequency is like the witch life holding another frequency. And if you were intelligent or more intelligent than your, say, neighbor, or did any woo-woo back in the 1600s, you were burnt. You were killed, and then they burnt you to make sure that your soul wouldn't play with what they thought the devil was, right? So with this integration, what we're finding is we're intersecting people on this earth plane in physical form to help us integrate past life things. And I would say that a lot of you here have a similar energy flow of past life or druid or wizards, because you're all high frequency. You're all got that gift in your soul of an old soul. So of course you're going to have gifts and abilities. So if you're feeling like, oh, what's this energy? It could be that you're elevating into a new frequency and you have to like get used to that new model, like driving a new car almost. It's like driving the new car. How am I going to be in this new frequency? Because the old in my cells, I remember not being welcomed or wanted in those past lives. And there was, a threat. So just feel into your body. Your body is like the conduit and the instrument that's going to tell you what's going on within you. I feel like a lot of people are getting these upgrades here in the throat and the sinus because it's got to do with gifts, right? Gifts and abilities turning on, starting to speak our truth, hesitating, maybe not getting out there because we're afraid of what that could look like in the community or in social situations because of a cellular memory of potentially dying in a witch life or a wizard life or a druid life. or even, the panic of loss can be in that as well. Like feeling like, what's the point? And giving up. When you're in that energy of giving up, it's like you're about to move through to like a full breakthrough or a new version or a new energy's coming into you. So every single law of attraction event in your day, every single day is something for you in your elevation. And for me, the hairdresser was, I figured it out, and you guys will never believe this, but I took a photo just so you would know. Um, I get nervous before I'm about to go to the hairdresser, and I was like, oh my God, I hope I don't have a panic attack. I've got to go to the hairdressers. I haven't been there in 4 months because I've been hibernating and really integrating what this rebirth is. And I said, what is this? Because I was nervous. And my higher self said, the hairdresser was your sister in the witch life. And I was like, oh, and brought me so much relief. Anyway, I get there and she's wearing a flame t-shirt.
It's a t-shirt with
A t-shirt with pink
over
flames all over it. You can't make this up. So the divine was just helping me to make sure that I knew that I wasn't going crazy. And of course, I'm not going to say to her, hey, I think we've had a past life and but I was like, wow, this is so crazy. So every single intercept that you're having in your day-to-day life is something of like, maybe you've traveled with that person. You know, when you meet someone and you're like, this just looks so familiar. There's probably a crossover of integration of energy for past life integration or galactic work together, right? So just sit in observer mode and keep asking the question, because when you ask, you will receive, and the energy's speeding up. If you want to know the answer, your higher self will pop it into you. But if you're being oblivious and not really switched on in that, okay, why is this person, there's something about this person, a complete stranger walking into your vortex, and you've had some, like the painter. The painter, I got all nervous before our painter was coming, and Peter dropped the kids to school. And I went, oh no, here I go again. A male coming into my house. What's this fear showing up? This is all in the last week, by the way. And I worked out when I met him, he had blue, stunning, beautiful eyes. So nice guy. What a beautiful soul. Had no problems him being in my house. Didn't feel scared, but I didn't know what it was going to be. And so when I met him, you were a gladiator in a past life with him. And it's these full cycles are completing for you at the moment. And so these souls are coming into your life to help you figure and complete the cycle, because all of us have cycles to complete. So we work on this lifetime, inner child healing, work out all our patterns, integrate our soul fragments, and get the volcano roaring and all the density out of our system. And then we're moving into this past life idea.
So link the gladiator to going out in front of
people. Oh, yeah. So the gladiator lifetime, my family sold me because I was a strong, big, oversized man. I guess the royal family wanted a fighter in the Gladiator Coliseum. And this is just what I get in meditations and this knowing. This hasn't been a reading or a channeling from anyone. It's just seeing flashbacks. And it's either, you go into a fighting circle, you're either going to die, right? Or you're going to win. So I went out of my body because of the fear of, is this over? Is my life over? So the audience in a big coliseum was overbearing for me because of all the energy of everyone screaming and shouting. And so every time I'd go to the shops, you guys remember, I'm having these little moments of, this energy, and my sensitivity is heightened. But it was because I was in fear maybe of dying. So I had to process that and remember, okay, no, I'm not going to die. This is okay. I'm integrating a gladiator past life. And then we get this painter and this hairdresser in the last week, and it's completing cycles. So if things are speeding up for you and you're linking, it's important to start to, okay, is there past lifetimes for me to link in order for me to elevate to the next level so I can use my gifts, turn my gifts on, my abilities, because your body is telling you what's going on. So if you're feeling nervous or overwhelmed, ask the energy in your body, what is this? What are you trying to show me? Help me understand this. It might take a couple of days for you to process and understand, and that's okay. there's no rush, but you'll get the answer. And it's the same with the inner child healing. So also on top of that, what is it?
Oh, I'm just seeing Donald and I think it was Stephanie up a bit higher in the chat. First time on a call and they wander into this conversation. I just think,
I hope that's
oh,
okay.
it was nice to meet you if I never see you again. You're like, holy shit, what did I just wander into? But
So the Kundalini energy is the life force energy that sits dormant as a snake, a serpent. And a lot of people are afraid of snakes. Isn't that interesting? Right? And a lot of people don't come down to Australia because they think spiders and snakes are going to get them. Well, you've got a snake within your system, in your root chakra. So I saw some people saying before their lower back's really starting to ache. That's the serpent energy starting to awaken. And what its job is to push up the spine to clear density, to open you up, right? To clear the compact zip files of layers of density, and it's going to open you up. Okay. So I was noticing my spine and the energy of the serpent going out at the solar plexus at the back of me. And that was when all of this past life integration work is happening. Okay. So if you need to like just bring yourself back in your body, because a lot of the time us light workers, we want to get out of our body to run away from the pain or the discomfort. So it's a good idea to get to know your Kundalini fire energy and to feel it and know when it's pushing up and where it is along the back of your spine physically. It's a vibrational feeling in your body. And so if you feel like it's going out at the back of the solar plexus, remember your solar plexus is where overwhelm lives, anxiety, it's your confidence, your strength, your power. So if it's going out, it's probably hit something with you turning on your power and your confidence, your self-image. So ask it, what are you trying to show me? And get to know the serpent energy, because it's going to be your ally. It's your life force energy that the divine built into your system, in your physical body. And eventually what you're going to get is the Kundalini going all the way up through the channels, up above your head into your crown chakra, and you connect with source. And it's like we connect with the divine. And there's like I've seen it in my meditation only briefly. I'm not connected all the time, but the potential of elevating into a higher vibrational place is when that Kundalini goes all the way up, because your energy centers are clear, and momentarily will connect like with a tube into source. And that's maybe when you guys will feel bliss state or joy, happiness, those little spikes of energy will come to you. We can't withstand that energy for a long period of time because we're not conditioned to that yet. But that would be the goal of where this is all going. And it's exciting because it's graduation. When you know that Kundalini is going up through the channels and reaching a higher place, it's almost like they connect and you're fully connected to, the main hub, the main computer back in. Yeah.
and when we connect this to why now on the planet, okay, and for those of you that subscribe to spaceweather.com, they send a text message whenever there's a solar storm. It can often be linked to the Schumann resonance as well. It's like the activity over the last year and a half has been so much more than the year and a half before that, so much more than a year and a half before that. It's like, in other words, energetically, so with the planets, the energy, the solar storms, and the frequency of the planet at the same time, with more and more people, let's call it, starting to wake up. That saying, the rising tide lifts all of the boats. So as the consciousness goes up, it makes all of us, right, on that leading edge and open and aware to it, able to do more healing, get access to more knowings, more downloads, and in a way, it pushes us along. It helps and facilitates us with our spiritual work, which is spiritual purification, finding the parts in us that are in error, where there has been distortions, whether they be false beliefs, traumas from childhood, or patterns from our family life and growing up in society, patterns that are false, not in line with the laws of the universe, and that are holding us back from having our inner essence come out, right? That's the work. And the assistance to be able to do that is like divinely guided by the energy, the planets, the sun at the moment, which is why, if you've been keeping an eye on the chat, so many of us are getting similar things. And people are going, oh my goodness, I can relate to this, I can relate to this. It's because we're tapping into that morphogenic thought field, right? Like that hive mind, we're moving towards higher frequency levels where we move closer and closer towards becoming a collective consciousness, because we see the false belief of I'm a separate self from everyone else. We actually realize I'm seeing the source in others. I'm seeing the divine in others. And when you can better do that, remember the way you do that? Open your heart chakra, green ray frequency in your auric field. That's why the old quote triggers, the old jerks, it's so much easier to have compassion and empathy and understanding for them, because all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, they're just hurting. They're just broken. You know, they don't know any better. Thank goodness I'm awake, I'm aware, and it's easier. It's not always easy, but it's easier to be compassionate and empathetic and understanding. But guys, particularly for yourself, how we think and talk and feel within ourselves, because we've got to know thyself, right? Understand yourself. And like I talk about, all your little things, right? It's you don't want to lie to yourself, right? We don't want to bullshit ourselves that this didn't affect us or that hasn't upset us or we've got it all together if we haven't. It's like we can be real with ourselves, but in that compassion for ourselves, then it's way easier to bring that onto other people. And once you start to do that, the frequency goes up. So all the different downloads and things that are dropping in that Roxy's talking about that a lot of you can resonate with, oh, all of a sudden it's like I feel like I'm making a little bit of progress. It's starting to come together, right? So this is what the May portal is about. We're going to use this energy of this beautiful pulse to assist us.
So before we get into the meditation, we're going to just let you guys a couple of things. We're going to Rhythmia again in October. We have been called. We're very nervous about going, of course, and talking about snakes. That's how Mother Ayahuasca comes. She comes in snakes. And I know a lot of you in the comments and the chat there are saying, I saw a snake in the back garden or the skin or under the deck, and I'm seeing snakes. It's definitely a sign, perhaps, of growth, rebirth, death. And we open the opportunity for you guys to come along for the week that we're there. It's going to be called Lightworker Week. We are speaking at Rhythmia this time on the Monday and the Wednesday. We've got a gig. So we've been invited and that by Rhythmia to come along, which is really, really cool. There is a webinar all about the medicine that has been posted on our YouTube channel today. So if you're curious just to learn, if you don't know anything about the medicine, ayahuasca is what we'll be doing. It's a 7-day retreat. You pay Rhythmia. It's got nothing to do with us, any of those details. You go direct with Rhythmia and we see you there. And that's basically it. We'll be a familiar face on the ground in ceremony with you if you felt safer doing it that way. Of course, the medicine is something that's very hard work. It's not a walk in the park and you need to be ready. And if you're feeling called to do the medicine, this is an opportunity. We are at the stage trying to get there every year, but the last time that we did the medicine, it knocked us and we were kind of like, oh God, I don't know if we can do this every year, but it was a beautiful journey and we've got many blessings from it. So it's the 19th of October, 7-day retreat, and all the details are to be found out by Rhythmia, and there's a concierge there that you book a 15-minute consultation and you get all the information that you might need, a quote. And there's all the details in a webinar on our YouTube if you wanted to look at that. What else is coming up? We've got a second course coming up. We've done a Galactic How-To Medbed teaching people to remote view to a starship. and work with galactic beings and heal and work with the quantum field. We've been working for a couple of years now on Galactic 2, a course of Galactic 2, and the time is now that we're getting nudged to bring it out. And so this is going to be released in the next week, so have a look for that. That's going to be a next level course, right? So if you're in the healing, if you're a practitioner, if you're well on the journey and you want to expand your education and your knowledge around ascension, what's the point of this? Rainbow light bodies, integrating past life, how to pick those, working with galactic past life as well, because everything's an energy flow that we have to connect. And so we're going to be going deep into how to actually do that. And it can be very powerful for your healing and ascension journey. So 8-part course. There's a good discount for students that have sat with us before. We wanted to support you guys to make it affordable. And that'll be coming live in the next week.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Roxy and I have both been feeling, even though it feels like it never stops raining, but we've been feeling like going outside and connecting to the stars more. Like I remember we used to jump on these calls and talk to you guys about how we used to love our favorite thing, go outside, lie on the pool sunbeds, but look at the stars, not at the swimming pool. And we did that for, I don't know, it felt like years. And we've been called back to do that again. Now, I got a note here that around the 5th, 6th, or 7th of May, there's going to be meteor showers. And it's going to be a great time to look at the stars. So, I don't know how you say that word. The Aquarids meteor shower. And of course, we all know about shooting stars. That's a great time to make a wish, set an intention. And of course, for a lot of us, to go out there in that awe and that beauty of being connected to the stars, particularly if, I don't know, I know I've seen the stars over and over. I just never get enough of it. It's like, it's just beautiful. There's something about it. I love looking at the stars. And, if you're lucky enough to be looking at the stars and you see whoosh, a little shooting star, right? You can make your wish.
A moving object. And that's how the galactic started actually connecting with us when we first started doing this work. And so don't be surprised if when you're going out and looking and connecting to the stars that you're actually getting upgrades, because a lot of the interdimensional beings will connect with you in that beautiful energy and check for like your frequency, your temperature. You might start seeing lots of little ships and you think, am I making this up? Is it a satellite? But like it is probably for you and your star family connecting to you. So it's true. We've all hands up of those that know what I'm talking about. It's like when you're meant to see them, they'll show up and And I know it sounds very crazy for a lot of new people on the call today, but it's interdimensional. It's a frequency that we can't perceive yet. It's like when you meditate and you don't see color yet, right? Your vibration isn't high enough to see that. Right? So that's why physically they'll show up in ships and flashlights. Like, you know what it's like? It's like you're laying there and you're like, oh my God, it's like flash, but it's like insane. It's not like an aeroplane or a satellite. It's moving in different patterns. And you think that's for me, and it is for you. So if you're seeing lights in the sky, it's probably extraterrestrial, and it's just something that you're getting a reward, a little hint. Keep going, you're on the right path. And be mindful what you're thinking about when you see it. Like when you see a shooting star, what were you just thinking about? Because that's confirmation, like 1111 or 111 or 222. When you see those numbers, always think, what was I just thinking or feeling about? Because it's emphasizing what your knowing was on that particular point. Okay.
Then we got the full moon on May 12th.
Yeah. So May is a good time to realign with you and your goals. We're all inspired at the start of the year to set the goals, and we've noticed a lot of people actually don't have any goals. A lot of people just get up, go to work, get 5 minutes for a meditation. There's no intention. So remember, you're a creator being, and when you set goals, your goals will change from month to month. And we encourage you to do this often. I just wiped down the whiteboard from January and I said, oh my God, all of those goals, time for a renewal. And so that's going to be the focus of this meditation today, is realigning with what you actually want out of life and this human experience. Personally, relationships, maybe a home, children, maybe a holiday, maybe it's the business, or maybe it's a vibration that you want to walk with and wear, like clothing. And sometimes we get lost in the matrix. It's like this thing, that thing keeps pulling us away from our goal. But today, and for you guys coming here, it's going to be good to sit, paint your goals, because when you create them on the quantum field, they might not turn up tomorrow, but they're going to be out there. And for the universe to pick them up and start to grow them. So you're like planting little seeds for the goals, feeling it in your vessel and saying, okay, that or better, right? That's all better, because what if one way wasn't meant to be and there was a better way doing it another way? So always keep it open with your goals, but always create it. You're creator beings. Like this planet was created from a soul creating the planet. A soul created form, species, Palladians, Octarians, humans. We are creator beings, right? So when you get that in your head and empower yourself to believe that you're a creator, the manifestation changes. Everything blasts off. But it's the belief system that you have to look at. Maybe I'm not worthy. Oh, I was always the ugly person at school. Oh, I never fitted in with the cool kids. So therefore, I don't deserve all the happiness or this or that, whatever the belief or the program you're telling to yourself. So today, you're going to have an opportunity to be guided into this, to see any distortion around what's holding you back from you actually getting what you want. You all deserve a beautiful life. And it's these practices, dialing it in with your intention from your heart, knowing that you're a creator. And a few of you have been a witch and very gifted before. But you're old souls, but you just forgot. Now you're going to remember.
So this is the flower moon, which is going to be the full moon on May 12th. So it's the blooming, it's the energy of you flourishing as well, helping your creations, goals, manifestations, things that you're excited about coming into being. So this will be a beautiful meditation in helping you to work with those energies that are going to be in and around, because towards the end of May, the 26th, is when the new moon comes in, and the intentions that you've set at the beginning of the day get helped to be crystallized towards the end of May, and we want to work with this as well. So if we are all interconnected, and if the energies on the planet are giving us similar things, like you were seeing in the chat about people with the sinus, with the joints, with different ascension experiences, and people going, yes, 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 it's like that energy then, if we use it in a way to help us to work on our goals, our manifestations, to move us in a new direction, that energy's there and will assist us if we ask. Remember, we've got free will. Remember, if you've ever done a session with me, they're always talking about you've got to ask more, ask for more help, ask for more assistance. But so often we've got false beliefs. It's rude to ask. Oh my God, don't ask. Well, you're rude. Remember, we get told that by our parents, or we're pushy, or whatever it may be. Not we have false beliefs in our self-image about being unworthy of receiving, and often we can be blocking our own abundance, our own success, our own happiness through, they're often subconscious. Like I get most of you on this call would catch yourself with the negative thinking. So it's not the conscious, it can be in the subconscious, or more what I've been working on now and realizing with people, it even might come from deeper within the brain, and it's coming from the instinctual brain, and can be energy flows of just being disappointed with life. people who have had a life of helplessness, hopelessness, never daring to entertain or to think about or to ask for what they really want because they don't feel like they've got any power to be able to change the situation that they're in. So it's like at an instinctive level, they've got a strong dislike for being disappointed, being let down. So they don't ask what they really want. And things are different right now. We're here on the earth. It's a special time. Like we've talked about how much things have changed in the last 20 years, let's call it. The ability to be able to get on a call like this and share this information. It's unique. There's never been a time like this before. And the collective consciousness energy is shifting and changing. Let's work with this so that we can be on that leading edge.
May's also all about blooming, the flowers blooming. And I thought that was really nice because it's the Gemini energy moving into Gemini. And it's like you've probably been planting seeds and doing the inner work, and now it's time to flourish and enjoy the reward of that. So May is very like vibrationally sprouting and opening. So if you're being, maybe resistant to receive help or support before, and you might be opening to, okay, you can come and help me, because a lot of us might have old energy patterns of do it myself, like be a warrior and do it ourselves, because that's very masculine energy. Togetherness and love and support comes from feminine energy. And a lot of us have closed off the feminine energy and we're like, got martyr energy. I'll do it myself. I'll be independent. No. Right? To prove to everybody I can do it, And so just soften and open is part of the blooming of May, and allowing yourself to receive and be gentle and feel and look at the beautiful flourishing energy around you.
So we're going to do a beautiful meditation. In the meditation, we're going to be strengthening the pillars of your spiritual character. Okay, so the fundamentals, the foundation of your spiritual character, which is being determined and being committed and like actually having character. You know what? Character gets you so far in life. Dragging your butt to the gym when you're not in the mood, that's character. Because after 10 minutes, you'll be glad you did it, and you'll walk out of there and you'll go, oh, I'm so glad I went in there. But getting yourself in there in the first place, right? That's the character. So it's the character to do the breath work, do the meditations, write out the goals, take a moment through the day to move into gratitude in your heart. It's the small things that we do regularly that build our spiritual intelligence. They build our momentum. Now, you guys know it's not as good to go to the gym and whip yourself for 2.5 hours once a month. You're much better just going for 15 or 20 minutes every single day or every second day or whatever the number may be, or going for the walk. Or it's consistency that gets our fitness up. And it's the same with our spiritual fitness. So we'll incorporate these pillars into our character to use the energy to assist us with manifestations for this month coming up.
Hey, Terry. I saw Terry here. Terry was one of our very first students. We did our first course. We had 5 people in the course 5 years ago, and Terry was one of them, Terry Tupper. And we met him in Colorado. Hey, Terry. Hope you're well.
Come a long way. Do you know, guys, I sat there in Rhythmia, an insurance broker, sitting there thinking, what the heck is this ayahuasca thing going to be all about? And I leant over and I said to Roxy, I said, one day I'm going to come back here and I feel like I'm going to do a talk here. And that manifested just a few weeks ago when they said, listen, we want to do a light work a week. We want you guys to be the guest. What do you think about this idea? And of course, been 5 years, right, before that goal had manifested. But when I said that to Roxy, she looked at me, and what I know she knows is sometimes when I get a bee in my bonnet about something, when I really want something, logically we don't know how it's going to happen, but so often it can happen. It's like so often we find ourselves manifesting things that seemed so illogical when you set the goal or when you have the intention. It's like why you have goals because your higher self's out there in the background going, gosh, Pete, I don't know how the heck we're going to do it. We're going to have to pull some strings here energetically, make this thing happen. But it's happened for us in so many different areas of our life. And we will always continue to share with you guys openly and honestly our ups, our downs, the wins, the failures as well. And I'm just feeling really excited about guiding you through this beautiful meditation. So give it your absolute best.
Thank
Come
you.
from the heart.
And if anyone drops off after, that's okay. Thank you for coming. I just wanted to
Yes.
say thank you for doing the work. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting yourself. We turned down the cameras for this meditation so you guys can drop deep, and then we come back on at the end, say goodbye. But if you do have to run, that is okay. We'll understand. But we just wanted to say thank you before you do run. And yeah, we'll get started. I'll turn on
Okay.
some.
So close your eyes. Direct your attention to your eyelids. Relax those tiny eye muscles and let them go. And then feel the relaxation moving like a wave, slowly downward throughout your body. Relax. Let your body go and relax. As you relax now, set the intention to tune into your heart. Feel your heart beating in a normal, natural manner. And just feel your breath becoming a bridge between your physical body and your spiritual essence, that larger energetic part of you. As you tune in and become more and more aware of your physical vessel, letting go of any tension, any stresses of the day, things that may have been on your mind before the call, letting all of that go. As now you start to feel or imagine, perhaps visualize, roots growing from the base of your spine, moving down through the soles of your feet, down into planet Earth, moving through the soil, the rocks, and the various layers of Earth, and connecting into the crystalline core of Mother Gaia. Beautiful Pachamama. Feel yourself at the start of this call really feeling grounded in to Mother Gaia's warmth, strength, almost feeling the cells within your body dancing and tingling with the wisdom of this connection. As you feel this beautiful grounding moving through your entire body. Excellent. Next, we set our intention to connect to the galactic. So setting your intention now to project your consciousness, your mind and your awareness, to visualize, imagine, sense or see and feel your consciousness expanding out from you now, out beyond the clouds, beyond the stars, feeling your mind, your awareness, moving out towards the center of the galaxy. As your consciousness becomes more and more aware of the beautiful planets, the wonder of the stars and our galaxy. Set the intention now and ask for your galactic guides to connect, your galactic team. Feeling into the energy of the Pleiadians with their support and cheeky wisdom. The Syrians with their clarity, their knowledge. Arcturians with their healing, their unconditional love and reassurance. The Andromedans with their angelic, divine feminine. The Lyrans with their peace, their sensitivity, the inner knowing. Feel yourself tuning into the guides that you communicate with or feel the most comfort from within yourself. And as we feel into the galactic team, your mind and your awareness can expand out even further, calling in even more now as we focus on our angelic guides, feeling ourselves becoming conscious almost of their wings, their feathers, their support, these lights, this strength, our angelic guides. Perhaps Archangel Michael with his sword of truth and release. Perhaps it's Archangel Raphael with his emerald light of healing. Feel into your guardian angels whispering to your soul, holding space for you as you set your intention to move towards this higher version of yourself as they support you with your transformation. With their support and guidance around each and every one of us now, we're going to set our intention of letting go of old patterns which no longer serve us, or just releasing the old version of ourself that we're aware of, that we love, which has helped us to move on our journey to where we are now, and we fully accept, but we're excited to move to the new. So say to yourself softly, or in your mind's eye, I release what no longer serves me. I release identities, false beliefs, or old patterns that are rooted in fear, shame, or self-doubt. Feel them leaving you. Feel them being cleared from your field, from your spirit guides, released by your higher self. Say to yourself again, I forgive myself. I forgive others. I now choose love and light. You can visualize perhaps golden fibers or patterns before you. And as you let go of these old patterns, the stories, the unworthiness, perhaps a fear of being seen, fear of being powerful, you can just feel the old patterns being let go and transmuted into a golden fire, being released and cleared from your field. And as you take a deep breath and you breathe that through, the old is being replaced with shimmering light. You're becoming lighter, more pure, more in truth. Excellent. And as you focus your intention towards this new, purer, higher vibrational version of you, you can program your brain and nervous system and your spiritual field with the good, the clean, the powerful, the positive. I now anchor my spiritual character within me. I embody truth, integrity, compassion, and courage. I am manifesting within myself the strength of a soul aligned with divine purpose. And you feel this new pattern moving through your nervous system, down your spine, out around your body in a beautiful tree-like structure, in a way becoming like your nervous system's new blueprint for success. Visualize and feel your back now, specifically your spine. Feel into the energy of your spine glowing with light. You're lighting up the vertebrae within your spine, and each of the vertebrae becomes like a pillar of the new you. A pillar of truth, a pillar of compassion, a pillar of patience, a pillar of love. And a pillar of divine power that has a sprinkling of grace and ease as you work in harmony with the universe rather than needing to use force. So feel into now as these beautiful attributes of the new you are being encoded into your DNA. Your galactic team, your beautiful allies are sending down streams of light codes through your crown. Your divine angelic guides are placing golden symbols of sacred geometry into your field, placing a seal of divine destiny within your field as you feel yourself becoming reactivated, rewoven, and you move into the temple of your true spirit. As you feel this energy moving through your system, moving into your energetic body, becoming a new program for you, a new pattern of behavior. Say to yourself with gratitude, I thank my galactic family, my angelic guides. I thank my higher self, this future version of myself, which is supporting me in this high frequency state. Give your thanks. Feel in your heart that gratitude. I walk forward now with strength and joy and humility. See your auric field becoming lit up and in a way providing a protective field, sealing in your love, your transformation, your inner essence, keeping you resistant in the inner knowings that you have created for yourself so that you're safe, you're whole, and you feel beautifully guided. In this new powerful state, bring to mind any goals, any projects that you've set for yourself for the next month, 3 months, perhaps 6 months or beyond. Something which you're excited about. When you talk about it, when you think about it, you light up, you feel positive, you feel powerful. And even if logically you don't have any idea how it might be something that you create in your life, move in this high frequency state, move into trust, move into receiving, asking your guides to assist you, your higher self to tune your 5 inner senses so that you're able to trust the synchronicities, the opportunities, and follow the little breadcrumbs of the energy that your divine guides leave for you as they work with the organizing principles of the universe to help you be able to achieve your goals and objectives faster. Visualize or feel into this powerful end result, ensuring that you program yourself for a goal such as this, or perhaps even something better. Realizing that so often the journey of who you become is often more important than the destination itself. So dreaming big dreams, setting big goals, and allowing the magic of wonder and the power of you, the creator being, working in conjunction with the laws of the universe, will be able to create the end results that you wish. Feel that gratitude in your heart space. As now it's time to start to bring ourselves back into the present moment. So we thank our guides, thank our galactic team. We feel into this new pattern of the real you that you've embodied in this beautiful exercise, and you make a conscious decision to the best of your ability, anchor this high vibrational state into the physical vessel as you bring yourself back, so that this interconnectedness, this knowing, this support is something that you're able to hold in your day-to-day life and not just experience periodically in your meditative life or your spiritual connection. You become the walking miracle. Your life becomes this high frequency vibration more and more in your day-to-day life. Feel your gratitude for the fact that you're awake, that you know that you've got a soul. Feel into the gratitude of this community, all our little topics that we talk about, all the little things that we share about being human, about the ups, the downs, the successes, the new knowings that come in. And start to bring yourself back now to the room, feeling yourself starting to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Breathing in and out, and as you breathe out, let a smile come across your face and return yourself to the group and to the camera. And we'll share some closing reflections.